Hey, everybody, I'm glad you're here. So, today I'm going to talk about success amnesia and kind of what it costs you and what it doesn't cost you. So, one of the things, I'm going to show you the secret from my desk right here on kind of what you can do. And you don't have to take this idea, there's a million other ideas. But as you're doing all of the achievements, as you're doing all these great things, remember the first thing about getting to know your schedule, getting to know why you want to do the why do you want to achieve the things that you are doing is really about not the future you. You're doing a lot of things for your present you, for your future you, but you are here to also be fully present. And success amnesia really cuts everybody short because of what it costs you. It costs you uh, grace. It costs you grace. So what I want you to think about in success amnesia is really just forgetting all the stuff you've already gotten done. So we often uh, forget to write it down, that we don't kind of give ourselves a note. When we are teaching the 12-week year, it is so important that we do these weekly reflections, that we say, look, reflect on your week. What went well? What didn't? The reason that you want a success reflection or some way to look at it is because it puts you in another state of being. Oh, yeah, I'm further along than I thought. Most people just are just so focused on this one way or this one goal, they forget that they've spent thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of days building the life that you're actually living right now. And the life that you're living right now is kind of sweet. And you're just trying to make your present life better and getting to something that's kind of going to take some time to get to a future goal. So when we're thinking about success amnesia, we also see it in goal amnesia. We also see it in the fact that sometimes I'm just fatigued and I'm not thinking about where I've been or what I'm doing. Sometimes it's neglect. And that's one of the things that I remind a lot of you who put yourself last on the list way back here. For all of you who are putting yourself at the very end, it's another form of neglect. So some of you are actually not remembering all the things that you've done and blah 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 is because it's another way that you have built as a system that puts you last. So you have to start rolling up the stuff so we can be forward, present mind. Some of you are just unaccustomed to taking credit. Some of you are uncomfortable taking credit. And some of you just block it out. Like, I don't want to think about all that stuff because it will make me lazy. So, look, achieving something doesn't make achieving and giving yourself credit doesn't make you lazy to kind of come forward. And if that's the case, well, then there's your thing to work through, right? There's something to work through. But what it mean is really writing it down, looking at the things that you've done. You have to be able to go, oh, yeah, I did those things. I did that. So, what it costs you is the memory. What it costs you is perception, which is perception of the self, but it costs you perception of where you are in your journey, right? That I hang out with a lot of people that are younger than me, and they're like, oh my gosh, you've like done so many things. And I'm like, well, I'm a lot older than you are. So sometimes we forget the perception of what it was like being someone in their 30s. That in their 30s, they had everything to do. Like when I was 30, I hadn't had a house yet. I hadn't bought a new car. There were so many I hadn't done yet. But now, as an older person, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you to buy a car. And I've bought many new cars and many houses and many things. So you lose your perception by not writing it down. And I like writing it down. But what you also lose by not making note, not taking credit, not reviewing is you also lose some respect because sometimes we don't respect how much work it was to get to be you. The person that you are today, you got to be from, like if I look at myself, I mean, the amount of hours of therapy, the amount of hours that I had to go walking out in the woods to clear my head, the amount of times I had to work in forgiveness training, right? I have to hold that, right? Because the goal is to hold the self in esteem. sometimes we forget to respect all of the work that we have done, all of the things that we have been part of. And that's what I mean by grace, that sometimes you need some grace. And it's easy, that sensibility to be able to offer grace is so much easier when you go, oh, yeah, the, I did all these things. I've already done all these things. And another thing about that is it's so calming. It's so calming to go, oh, yeah, I did that. And so we have to kind of keep remembering that we've done some stuff. And so I keep this little secret little chart thing here with me, right? This was I don't know, this is like a dollar store item. But it's just a little thing that you can put stuff on. And so I will just randomly be like, okay, what have I done? And and over the years, I'll put down my wins of what I have done. And so it sometimes they help me remember, oh yeah, hey, I mean, I was trying to get so many views on my images. So like I wanted 1 million. Well, then I wanted 4 million. Well, now my goal is to get to 25 million. But this was a big deal to me, or that, right, or that I'm the top woman in finance twice. Like, who do you know that's done that? Nobody. So sometimes when we, that I raised $170,000 for peace, that's a big deal. um that I've had 10 years of travel for a month at a time to do writing and projects and things like that. Or that one day this random stock I had split and I made $40,000. That sometimes it's that I've sold out a class, or that I paid my house off in full, right? Or that I broke my back, I can walk again. So sometimes having just this little list of stuff that I put together on a little thing, on a little shelf, and go, oh, yeah, you know what? Maybe you should just not feel sorry for yourself. Maybe you should just think about the fact that you've done a lot of stuff. And I don't think about that stuff when I'm thinking about my future. I don't think about the fact that I broke my back and I had to lay on the floor and have for months and have everything delivered to me, or that my it was horrible and I cried a lot and I really wondered if I would ever walk again. So, there are we just sort of forget all that. We forget it. And what I'm saying to you is that it's time to not forget, because the cost of just going, oh yeah, I did a bunch of stuff. That amnesia doesn't help fill your life with abundance, grace, and feeling like you have some strength, that you've already done a lot of great things and we're doing more great things together. But you've got to find a system to put some of those things down on a piece of paper, give yourself a way to look at them, and really claim your success, because you're going to need all of that momentum to build the next things that you're doing, or to get through the next challenge. So again, today's success is just us being together. So thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for taking a breath with me, because you've done a lot. And it's nice to have some perception of that. So that's what I hope you do today. I hope you really just go through and write down, just think of 10 things that you're the most proud of, or 100, that almost every one of you has more than 100 things that you're proud of that you've done. And some of you have thousands of things that you've done. So start kind of pulling them together. And as you're growing forward in your dreams and your goals, you want to be able to think about those celebrations, and giving yourself that respect and that grace to take credit for the things that are yours. All right. Have a great day. I'll see you here again, and I'll see you live in class. All right. Bye.